It's a Thursday and property speaking. We have our guest, always broker and owner of REMAX, Philip Skuman, joining us. Morning, Philip. How are you doing?
Fine, thanks yourself, guys.
Great. Always a pleasure to have you in studio. Today we're looking at things that could potentially decrease the value of your property. And maybe we don't think about that a lot. We're just chasing that bargain, that cheap property for us to get. So what are these things that can actually decrease the value of the property?
Okay, so I think firstly, all stakeholders need to realize, and I'm talking agents, buyers, sellers, bond originators, attorneys, that the bank's valuation the banks will look at an area rating for your property, and this has a lot of things like crime in the area, likelihood of paying, likelihood of default, what are the rates and taxes like. So the municipal valuation also plays a role. And then the general market perception is a huge factor. So things that detriment the general market perception could be like excessive clutter in our house, poor presentation, unconventional decor and colors. I mean, we as agents, sometimes...
Are you for real?
Your clients want an individualist approach to their house, but let me use an example. We sometimes refer to a property or a street, and then the agent we're talking to doesn't know, and I'm like, yo man, it's down the road from that purple house or that orange house, and it's like, oh boom, I understand.
I talked about my neighbor. I've got a neighbor who spent about 78 grand repainting the entire house to look like Barney the dinosaur.
Oh wow!
You see,
I promise you.
So this is the thing. It's individualist, 100%.
Yeah.
But that's not a general market perception.
Sure.
So if you want top value, you're gonna have to paint your house colors and dress it up that appeals to the normal general market. Everybody doesn't like purple or orange. Poor curb appeal. What's your gardening like? What is the general feeling? Do you hoard car parts in your backyard? That kind of thing gives a bad feeling.
It starts when you live in gated communities, because even your neighbor is not supposed to see the stuff in your backyard.
Yeah, but they can. And now it's double story. You can even look on to it. Substandard DIY renovations, another thing. People use cheaper contractors. It's visible to the naked eye, or to people that are not. We always speak of that loose tile. You're fine with it, but your buyer might not be. Unauthorized home improvements. I've got a specific client, I'm not going to mention the address. He bought the house for 2.2 million, and he turned it into rooms for NSFAS students, unauthorized. So put the house back on the market 3-4 years later, as soon as this NSFAS students, there was some trouble with payments and not put the house back on the market. Now I can't sell it.
Sure.
I can't sell it for the same value he bought it for 5 years ago. He needs to basically come in and renovate, turn it back into a house, because living rooms have been turned into 3 bathrooms or three bedrooms, to give you an example.
Yeah.
That's not a house, and why would you want to sell it in the first place? Because it's not making money anymore. So your new buyer is going to have to come in and renovate this, turn this into a house. Outdated kitchens and bathrooms, also a big thing.
But the thing is, Philip, usually we're searching for bargains, especially first-time buyers are looking for like that cheap house and everything, and we never really consider the points that you're raising. So how do I know that as much as I'm looking for that bargain, that I may be buying a house that is cheap because it has been developed, the value has gone down?
Yeah, so I think perspective is the big thing.
Yeah.
You need perspective as to what the market offers and holds, and how this one bargain, if you will, compares to the market, and how much you're going to need to spend to get it up to scratch. Generally, bargains are few and far between. We got another example now, and we've said before that 90% of the properties on Prop 24 are overpriced. Now the problem is people create general market perception as to, okay, let's say the average value of this type of house is 2 bar, and I find one for 1.6 or 1.8. Boom, 100 clients are on it. My phone rings off the hook because everyone wants that house. Now it's not generally actually a bargain, it's just market value. So it's not overpriced. So I would always say go for, if you can find a bargain, that's the trick. If you can find it and you have a general perception of what it's going to cost to renovate, and once you've added this together, gauge whether this will sell in the market. There is such a thing, obviously, as overcapitalization. I've seen clients buy that bargain at 1.6 when the area value was 2 bar, spend a bar. Now, they're at 2.8, 2.6, and you can't just put it back on the market and sell it. And why did you do the renovation in the first place? You wanted to turn it into profit. If you can't sell it even without profit, you get what I'm saying. So it's the trick is to find a bargain and to renovate it. But if you have, then I would always say it's a good idea.
Wouldn't you say it's also safe to ask the seller to show you the building plans and you compare them to the complete structure to say, let's see if whatever that's on the building plan matches the standing house? You said there'll be garage doors here, there are no garage doors. You said there'll be still windows here, there's no still windows.
100%. So the banks are also going to want the plans, and that comes into area rating. Has there been illegal additions to the property? That will also, and I find this quite a bit, where a client, bought the house, then 5 years later he calls me again to sell it, and then he's like, but I built this and I built this and I built this, so I can get more. Did you add it on the plans? No. So I'm like, no, you can't. In fact, we're going to spend 20 grand now to add these to the plans, hope they get approved, and then we can put it on the market. So
tedious.
Philip, thank you so much for your time. That's Philip Skuman, broker and owner of REMAX.
Thanks, guys.